Due to the lack of profit potential, another category of naturally occurring drugs is rarely discussed when debating the drug war.
I just wonder what your opinions are about the use of the ritualistic drugs.
It's a question I rush to avoid. It's, and I don't mean to be critical, but it's such a tiny, silly thing. It's almost not worth commenting on.
The Native Americans have had to fight long and hard for the use of peyote for their religious practice. Shamanism is the oldest religion in the world, and the war on drugs directly imposes itself upon our religious freedom and in fact, what is the oldest religion known to humankind.
Tribal members report a reduced rate in alcoholism, gambling addiction, and even drug addiction for those who go through the ancient hallucinogenic rituals.
We try to keep our young people from using alcohol and drugs through these ceremonies and telling them, showing them the way of life that we're supposed to be living.
I think probably if there was a claim that, that these kind of drugs actually help deal with alcohol abuse, that's probably silly. We had to get our treatment protocols from NIDA, not from malarkey.
Thousands of years of ancient tribal tradition now boiled down into one word.
Malarkey.
Known for being the man who introduced Timothy Leary to LSD, Dr. Gary Fisher believes that the drug war and religious suppression are one and the same.
The psychedelic drugs have been used through time in very positive ways, and they do not present a threat to anybody except the power establishment.
After getting word that my father's condition had taken a turn for the worse, I spoke with a doctor who uses hallucinogenic drugs in order to prepare terminally ill people for the inevitable transition.
In terms of the hallucinogens per se, my interest rests primarily in their potential application as a medical psychiatric treatment, and I believe that they're particularly valuable for patient populations that do not respond well to conventional treatments.
Diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, one would be hard-pressed to accuse Pam Sakuda of only wanting to get high.
The people who are waging the war on drugs have every interest in continuing to do so, because especially medicines like hallucinogens. And I think we all agree in these discussions that what they do is they allow you to change your perspective and to think outside of the box that you're closed into. And that's the last thing that this power structure wants, is for you to think outside of the box. In fact, they'd rather make your box smaller.
But here's an opportunity to have a truly religious experience, not hearing about religion, but to have that primal experience. Of course, your dad and his condition and all of his mindset and his rigidity would be highly unlikely to accept that.
The truth is, a sick person, a patient who is ill, should have the right to use anything that they can use that will help relieve their pain and suffering.
Because of my father's beliefs and the laws in Texas, I'll never know if naturally occurring drugs could have helped him through the most painful experience in his life. And in the end, like most Americans, he put his faith in Western medicine and lost his battle with cancer.
Ricky Ross is doing George Bush's time.
Bass, gain, bass, shooter, blow. Get higher, baby. Get higher, baby. Get higher, baby. It'll never come down. Free bass.
And what are your opinions about drugs like mushrooms and ecstasy?
I love mushrooms. Why, am I violating the law eating mushrooms?
Listen,
what the...
White lines, vision, dreams of passion going through my mind, and all the while I think of you. Pipelines, a very strange reaction for us to unwind. The more I see, the more I do. Something of a phenomenon telling your body to come along, because white lines blow away. Blow. Rock. Blow. Kick it by white line highway. Tell all your friends they can go my way. Pay your soul, sell your soul. Pound for pound costs more than gold. The longer you stay, the more you pay. White lines so long. wrong way, either up your nose or through your vein, with nothing to gain except killing your brain.